Central Mosque of Ganyam in Kutaba Nun Division. According to the chief of the village, the lifeless body was found at 4 p.m. Informed of the situation, the Kutaba Brigade Commander Nsah Mapure has condemned what he termed a crime of another kind with the last energy and has promised to quickly put a hand on the assassins. The population of Bamenda is still in shock after the shooting to death of two persons, Ibrahim and Nsah Harry, on February 22. The two were shot dead in a hotel bar by a man in uniform. Let's have more details on this story with Charles Kebwa.
Military officer Tuesday, February 22nd, 2022, opened fire at the gate of a renowned hotel in Bamenda, killing two civilians. The two civilians, responsible personalities, the incident that occurred at about 4 p.m. Tala Ibrahim Yungi of Mawa Hotel and Nsah Harry, alias Dangote, popularly called a Sonel subcontractor, were both killed after a military officer pulled his trigger, gunning the two down. The circumstances under which succumbed them to bullet wounds remain unclear, though other reports say both men, including the military officer, were drinking on a same table before the incident occurred. What led to the scuffle before the military officer pulling the trigger, killing the two, remains a subject, though eyewitnesses say had a senseless argument and drunken stupor. Investigation has been opened into the matter as a detachment of military officers stormed the popular hotel premises scene of the death, and the military officer disarmed and taken to an unknown destination, while the two dead, Thala Ibrahim from Ndu subdivision, Donga Mantung division, and Nsah Harry from Mankon, Bamenda 2 subdivision, taken to the Bamenda Regional Hospital mortuary. This incident has happened at a time Bamenda populace are gradually witnessing some calm from flying bullets.
On to something else, the Minister of Water, Resource and Energy, Gaston Oil, has received an award of excellence for his actions carried out for several years to give visibility to renewable energies daily. The award was given on February 23, 2022 by the Cameroon Association for the Promotion of Renewable Energies, presided by Edgard and Chubia. It was in the presence of a delegation from the Union of Renewable Energy of France, who were there to offer their expertise to Cameroon. The 37th edition of the International Women's Day preparations are ongoing. The second preparatory meeting in prelude to this celebration took place on February 22 in the nation's capital, a meeting chaired by the Minister of Women Empowerment and the Family, Marie-Thérèse Abena Ondoa. Our reporter from Yaoundé, Colette Loum, sorry.
Le ministère de la Promotion de la Femme et de la Famille n'est ni producteur ni vendeur du pain du 8 mars.
It all began with warnings as the Minister of Women Empowerment and the Family, Professor Marie-Thérèse Abena Ondoa, debunked rumor of her ministry selling Women's Day fabrics, but the amount remained 6,500 francs CFA. During the second official meeting, why it was announced that the official launching will take place in the Mungo division on February 25th, she equally stressed on the issue of COVID-19, a rundown of what will happen on Women's Day, which is washing of hands, wearing masks, composure, respect of social distancing, halt at the spotlight of this year's event, especially on illnesses such as AIDS, COVID-19. In all this, there will be a standing consultation of women sporting activities in the Central region in prelude to this day on Saturday feed. The last activity, which is the march past, will take place under strict measures where the number of women per group to march has been narrowed down this year from 140 to 49, and less than 15 years will not be allowed to partake in the march past. And handbags and high heel shoes or other objects which can harm women will not be accepted as well on the day of the march past.
Activities which were announced during the first preparatory meetings, and those who were not ready came with their activities to share with the others.
The ceremony ended with women in their numbers tabling their different preoccupations and presenting various activities that will take place during this 37th edition of the International Women's Day in their different gatherings. All in all, during the second gathering in the nation's capital regarding this year's celebration, health was the focal point.
We are hoping to have those activities take place, but we must be realistic because the coronavirus pandemic is still with us. If we have the approval of the hierarchy, it should be with a limited, a reduced number of participants. It is not realistic to envisage the type of mobilizations we had the last time we celebrated, that means in 2020.
Women in the Central region are therefore cautious as to how the upcoming day will unfold.
Reverend Aloysius Fondong Abangalo's appointment as a bishop of the Diocese of Mamfe by His Lordship Pope Francis on February 22, 2022 has sparked joy amongst family members and loved ones. Let's get details of his appointment with our reporter Katrine Kongwe.
February 22nd, 2022, His Holiness Pope Francis has appointed the Very Reverend Father Aloysius Fondong Abangalo.
Reverend Aloysius Fondong of the Boya Diocese, currently a teacher and formator at the St. Thomas Aquinas Major Seminary in Bambui, has been appointed as Bishop of the Diocese of Mamfe. Aloysius Fondong Abangalo was born on June 5, 1973 in Limbe, under the Diocese of Boya. He started philosophy and theology at the St. Thomas Aquinas Interdiocesan Major Seminary in Bambui, Bamenda. He holds a licentiate in canon law from the Université Catholique d'Afrique Centrale from 2011 to 2014. As a student, he also served as ministry in the parish of St. Peter and Paul in Simbo since 2019. He has been in Italy for a doctorate in canon law at the Politica Urbaniana University. Father Aloysius Fondong was ordained a priest on April 20, 2006 for the Diocese of Boya and has served as vicar of the Holy Family Parish of Limbe from 2006 to 2007, Dean of Our Lady of Grace College in Moyoka from 2007 to 2009, Diocesan Treasurer and member of the College of Consultors from 2009 to 2011, a teacher and trainer at the St. Thomas Aquinas Major Seminary in Bambui and defender of the bond at the Interdiocesan Tribunal of Bamenda from 2014 to 2019. His Lordship Aloysius Fondong hence replaces now Archbishop Andrew Kea at the helm of Mamfe. Diocese of Mamfe had been without a bishop for close to a year following the appointment of the Bishop Andrew Kea as a new Archbishop of the Bamenda Archdiocese. It should be noted that Reverend Aloysius Abangalo received news of his appointment as a new bishop of the Mamfe Diocese when he was undergoing further studies in Europe.
In sports, the indomitable Lionesses of Cameroon have grabbed a qualification ticket to the 2022 African Women's Cup of Nations in Morocco after defeating the Scorpions of Gambia 2-1 in a return leg qualifier in Banjul, Gambia. The match took place yesterday, Wednesday, 23 February 2022. And out of the country, former Guinea-Bissau Prime Minister Domingos Simões Pereira has been banned from leaving the country due to a judicial review in an investigation into an attempted coup in 2001. The country's Prosecutor General's office issued a statement recently announcing that Domingos Pereira has been under judicial supervision, a decision which prevents the former minister from leaving the country without the authorization of the public prosecutor. According to official sources, Pereira is officially accused while he was prime minister of having allowed the disbursement of $5 million to Guinea-Bissau businessmen to pay debts owed to local banks. He is accused of not having consulted the National Assembly before granting the disbursement and equally cited in an alleged coup attempt against President Embalo on April 12, 2021. Still on the African continent, the People's Movement for Progress, the party of the overthrown president of Burkina Faso, Marc Christian Kabore, has called on the new authorities of the country to release President Marc Christian Kabore without any delay or conditions. It is contained in a public statement on the national situation written Wednesday by the party's president, Alassane Bala Sakonde. The statement released Wednesday indicated that his party is worried and questioned the reasons for keeping Mr. Kabore under house arrest. The former ruling party equally called on the head of the junta, Lieutenant Colonel Paul Sandogao, to keep the commitments he has made it to ensure that the fundamental rights of every citizen are respected. And out of the African continent, things are moving fast between Russia and Ukraine. Russia's President Vladimir Putin has announced a military operation in Ukraine's Donbas region. Not long after his on-air announcement, people started reporting explosion, and Ukraine's government has confirmed the Russian invasion in their east region. Ukraine had already announced a state of emergency after Russia declared the two regions known as the Donbas as independent states and moved troops into the area. Russian president has said he does not plan to occupy Ukrainian territory, but things seem to be changing rapidly, leaving some countries already worried about the possibility of a war. And that was it for today's edition of Prime Flash, produced by Junior Pelama. Thanks for watching, faithful viewers. You have more stories on our 3:30 p.m. Prime Info with Gladys Bomotongina and 6:30 p.m. Prime News with Fon Quinter. Coming up next is In the House with Eileen Sama and her ladies. Have a nice time.